Hey, what's up? What's up, fam? Welcome to the live stream. I need to turn on the lights a little bit. ¿Cómo está mi gente? How's my people here? I need to turn on the lights a little bit, right? Because you cannot see me right. Yeah, another live stream, another day. So excited, so excited. Yesterday we were doing like a lot of cool stuff here in the live stream. So thanks everybody who was here. Today we have a very packed live stream. So many stuff that we need to work on. So many stuff, guys. Ooh. All right, I think the light is better now, I think. Okay. I think we got it. I need to make sure. Can anybody tell me in the chat on YouTube if you can hear me correctly, and also if the background track is not too loud? Please, 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 so we can start coding. Let me see if I have the chat right here so I can read you all. Where are you people? Where are you people? All right. All right, let's see if I can adjust. All right, I start to see people on YouTube connected. Thanks, everybody. Welcome. I see people on Twitch. Let me check the chat message. All right. Sup? Yo, what up? Welcome. All right, so I think we are ready to go. 1 second, I will just check the YouTube live stream. Cheers, everybody. Hope you're going well. I think we are ready to go. 1 second, I will just check. Sí, 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 le estamos dando caña a los directos. Es que me lo paso muy bien, la verdad. Esa es la realidad. I have so much fun with the live streams that I can wait. Okay, so let me just move the iPad right there and let me share my screen. So 1 second. All right, so now you should be able to see my screen. I'm just gonna make this a little bit smaller so you can see everything. Thanks so much. Yesterday we got new subscribers, so I appreciate that. And as I said, today we have a very, very, very packed live stream. I want to get as much as possible in the shortest time, and I want to do an experiment. So yesterday, for those of you that are new, or just like a recap, we were working on a new app. So there is a project that I'm working on. It's a streaming service, music streaming service that I'm working on. So this application is not the consumer app. This is the staff-only app to basically manage the catalog of music, right? So to be able to change, the title, author, check the audios, classify by genre, by tags, disable or enable the track from the catalog. So this is mainly an staff-only application, and we have been working on this for a couple of live streams in the past. So my goal for today, so this is what we currently have, right? So we are able to change the title, we are able to change the author, we can assign different genres, we can create a new genre, so we can assign the genre, we can create many tags, we can select multiple tags, we can enable or disable. So in the first part of the live stream, what I want to do actually Gracias, Javi. Thanks, Javi. Thanks for your support and for your love, guys. How many people? 674 soups. The goal for today is 680, so six more people, and we are gonna have so much fun. So the goal for today is basically a couple of things. In the first part of the live stream, I want to focus to finish the app, like the very basic functionality. So you can see here, we have implemented this part so far. I want to focus on these very small, like a classification, like being able to change the genre, the tags, pending to classify, disabled, to, so all that stuff. Before I forgot, I want to add some extra information right there, but that's something that we can add probably here or something like that, about the license as well as the provider. So that's something that we will add. Before I forgot, let me real quick. Where do we have the track list? Oh my god, yesterday I stayed up so late, and actually there were people watching the live stream. I was very surprised, but thanks for your thanks for your support and for your love. So here, let me add a to-do for adding provider, adding license, and adding storage provider as well. Nice. So this is gonna be the first part. In the second part, so this was not like I was not planning to do this, but actually I was thinking, and I was like, okay, maybe we should do this, which is actually adding Firebase, the database from Firebase called Cloud Firestore, into this project. So in the past, I was thinking to maybe use MongoDB to store all this data and have an API that connects to MongoDB and returns the data. But actually, I was thinking, you know what? I think if we use Firestore, Cloud Firestore, which I don't know anything. So this is the disclaimer. This live stream will be very fun because you will see me how I'm learning a new technology on the go. So hope this will work fine. But yeah, we will follow this tutorial, a very basic tutorial from Firestore about like creating a new application, a new shop or a store application using Firestore. So I thought, well, I mean, I can invest money on MongoDB, I can work on a Node.js API and stuff like that, but I actually feel like if I use Cloud Firestore, which is part of the all the tool sets from Google, I can work faster. I can make this thing faster. So I'm faster and with more confidence, right? Because there is less things to maintain. But that's gonna be the second part of the live stream. I don't really know if we arrive to a point in 1 hour or two that we finish this part and I'm like super tired, maybe I will just stop the live stream. Otherwise, I will just work on this tutorial and I will just add that stuff. So, all right, that's it. If you have any questions, you can comment me on YouTube, on Twitch, everywhere. Hola, Pablo. Vete preparando. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa con las rules de Firestore? What happens with the Firestore rules? No, no he trabajado, ¿eh? O sea, no he hecho nada con Firestore, así que para mí es todo muy nuevo. Veremos a ver. Pero bueno, de momento las rules no nos interesan demasiado. Okay, okie dokie. So let me do a couple of things. So we will start very basic to warm up a little bit, you know, like to warm up my fingers. So we will add a couple of stuff into the mock data that we have. So we have the example.json. Okay, cool. So we have the license, the provider, and the storage. So actually we can reuse this information. Let me check if we do have that info as part of the interface here. Okay, so we have any author, a genre. All right, so we got the license right there. Yeah, let me change that. We have the provider. Okay, so we have all of that, right? Provider storage license, provider storage license. Okay, so actually, oh, it's interesting because it seems that I commented that part out. Oops. What the hell? Okay. And actually, you know what? Nice. And then we can just simply uncomment this piece. So just let me go here. I will just group them. So we have the provider, the data storage, we have the license. Okay, yeah, this will fail. That's very expected. Do I have some sort of transformation from the mock data to change the author? I want to see tracks context provider. Do I have any transformation from, because I know like yesterday we encountered a couple of problems with, yeah, we encountered this problem with the genre that we needed to cast. All right, so it seems that we will have the same problem here. So before that, let me extract this piece out. 1 second, I will just... Ah, vale. You scare me, boy. Okay, let me drink a little bit. It seems that we will... All right, so let me extract the all of these pieces right there. Track lists. Let me extract that to a separate file. Transform genres, blah blah, disable switch, blah blah blah. So let's extract that piece out. I think we will just probably need all of this stuff anyways. All right, so welcome to the fantastic world of refactoring tracklists.json. Yeah, no problem. We'll figure that out. We don't need this. We don't need this. The merge, I don't think so. All of this stuff actually, it's part of the main application initialization. Track list, grid sizes, that's part of this. Import track, genre type, blah blah blah. Tag color, mapper. Are we really using these? Tag to color. Okay, yeah, we are. So interface declaration can only use in twice pre files. Okay, all right. TSX, please. So we can just like rename that file. Let's see what we are missing here. So, okay, yeah, tracks context. We will probably need to import that thing. All right. Track list. Okay. So let's be consistent. Let's rename this to be the same name. Track list. And then track list auto import. And then we just need to figure out, so we have the tracks context.consumer. To be honest, I was thinking yesterday about that. Like, I don't really see at this point to have the need to have a context using the context API for that, to be honest. Like, I don't really see that we are getting much value out of that. So we could potentially remove that, but as of now, I just don't want to waste time on that because it's not that critical or important. But just bear that in mind, that I was considering to do that yesterday. And then I wanna extract the okay, yeah, we need to have the default genres and default tags. Did I actually remove from here? Yeah, okay, no problem. I will just copy that from git status anyways. And then we can have, all right, so track context. Let's extract that piece out of as well. So we can just have that a little bit better, in a better place. And then we will just need to import the rest of the piece, or of the pieces of the puzzle. So we no longer need this select. And I feel like there are a lot of stuff here that we actually don't need. Yeah, as I said, this context, I'm not fully sure at this point, like it's super valuable. But no problem, no rush. Don't worry about that. We will get back to that eventually. All right, so this is stuff we don't need. Create context. So this is stuff we don't need. Then we have here the types, track, fine. We can just keep it there. And then we have couple, what's up with this? All right, so this is probably should be double. As well as the other one, right? Like this one, yeah, should be double. All right, so now what we actually need, I need to do is to copy again. Why is this not, it says tracks context is not defined. So can you please import? And then we can just remove the wrapper div because it's no longer needed. And then what we actually need to do is, let me open again the git status. Let me close this piece out because we will need to restart the server anyways. So let me, sorry if I'm going too fast, like this is how I normally do. Like I'm very chaotic when I'm working, like going from here and there. I'm just refactoring things as I see them. So no problem. I hope you enjoy this kind of way of doing things. All right, and then we can have here some sort of like, I wanted to have inside the component some sort of constants dot tsx. Oh wow, we got one people unsubscribed from the channel. I'm so sorry that you didn't like my live stream. So we have here the constant. Let me delete that piece out. Nice. I need to turn on the air conditioner. It's starting to be cold, hot here. Air conditioner, I don't normally like them, but I need them. Is this working? Yeah, it's working. I was scared for a sec. All right, and now, we will need to import as well. All right, genre, and then let's have these to export. Track, we don't need it. We need to have double here as well. Nice. Okay. So I think we are getting to a good position right here. Okay. Default type. I feel like if I click here, Visual Studio Code should autocomplete. Come on! Why is this not working? All right, never mind. Never mind, I'm fine. So tags right there. All right, we got it. We got it. I think pretty much okay. I like the idea that we are keeping this app.tsx smaller, because once we add the database, it will grow a little bit. So I want to make sure that I extract things out as I go. Okay. Now, what we actually need to fix here, yeah, the same story, right? The same issue as before. Let me think about this. because we can have track.tsx. I want to do enums. Enums are one of my favorite things in the world ever. Okay. So the only thing is that we will probably need to transform. I actually feel like why we don't have that just as of now, right? Like a transforming that will get the mock data. Yeah, right there. So track list and then basically transform once we load the data. So where is the mock data? Where do we load the mock data? Tracks mock. Okay. So actually what I'm thinking is that what we actually should do is having a method, having a function that basically transforms this mock data, which is a response from the database, um, well, from the API, transform this into our own type, right? We need to transform that into our own data type. So I feel like that's what we should do. So we will not have all of these errors right there, because right now it's complaining, for sure it's complaining that, hey guy, like basically you're adding the license, you're adding the provider and all of that stuff, but actually they don't have the right data type, right? So as you can see here, we have, where is this? Yeah, it's saying, okay, so you have all of these properties, but actually they don't meet what I'm expecting. So let me do something before that. Since we did the refactor, I want to make sure that the refactor is working fine. So let me fix the refactor and we can commit. And after we commit, we can work on the normalization of the data that we got from the API. So, well, in this case, it's all fake. Like we get that from a JSON, example.json, but we will refactor that, and we will just use the real stuff in the second part of this live stream, which is very exciting. So before doing that, let me just update real quick this stuff right there. So instead of being a license provider and storage with their own enums, we will just keep them as strings as solved now until we do the refactor. Pam, pam, pam. Not the refactor, but the normalization of data. Okay, so I think we need to restart again the server because yarn start. Well, ¿cómo va la gente? How is people going? I wanna know, I wanna know. You are very quiet today on the chat. Estáis muy callados todos y todas en el chat hoy. Pero veo que hay gente conectada, así que no, no me jodáis, güey. Vale. Yo os veo, O sea, I have a chat right in front of me, so I read all of you. Nice. So the refactor seems to be working amazingly well. I actually feel like we should add here another another button for, well, you know what? It could be like when you enable or disable this part. Never mind. I'm just thinking out loud, guys. So you know. You know me. You know me. All right. So I'm just gonna commit the whole thing because this was part of the refactor. But I always type git status to make sure what did I change, right? So refactor track lists into its own component. Nice. So once we have that, now we are gonna focus on get back this stuff right there, the license, the provider, and the storage. So in this case, Digital Ocean provider. Well, whatever. We don't really care about that as of now. Okay. Nice. Got it. So let's work on that real quick. So if we go to so here we're just loading the tracks mock. but this will eventually come from a fetch request. But I think as of now, what we can actually do, tracks normalized tracks equals. All right, so let's do this, and then we will have. Huh. Yeah, this is stuff we don't really need. Are we importing that? Because I don't like all that crap in my code. Import. And what is that doing? Index.css. Honestly, I don't care. So thanks, Create React App, for adding crap. All right. So we can just simply delete that part out. And then the service worker. Oh, wow, boy. It's adding many stuff there. But we don't really care as of now. Okay. Oh, React on a strict mode. This is interesting. So I guess the strict mode is the one that... Huh, 1 second. Is this the one that basically React strict mode? I've never seen this before in my life, so you always learn something new every day. It's a tool for highlighting potential problems in an application, like fragment, a strict mode doesn't render any visible UI. Oh, this is interesting. Ooh. Did you guys know this? Wow, that's nice. I'm taking notes because all of this is very valuable info. Anyway, let's get back to our stuff. Why are you using? Okay, so I want to do a test. What if actually I delete here strict mode? Does mean that I will not see any fail to compile message? Oh no, okay. Never mind. I still see that. All right. Let me close that. Let me close that. Let me close that. Let me close that. So what I want to have here is a transform track TS, please, TS TypeScript. Export function, transform track. So basically here we will just get data from the server, and what we are going to return is a track. Then we can have another function right there, which is going to be transform tracks. In this case, will be an array of data. So any, well, actually it's not any, it's an object, right? Should be an object. All right. And then we can have here an array, which is the return type for that function. Then what actually do we need here? So I typo transform trucks. So we need to import track from types / track. A function whose declared type is neither void nor any must return a value. Yeah, just because, like, as of now we can just keep it like that. And this one no. No, it's, yeah, well, I guess that we can add these as of now, but We can say here track or undefined. But that's a boilerplate or a, like that's temporary one, so we don't really care. So let me go to app.tsx, and then we can just call it, what was the name of that? Transform trucks. Transform does not exist on type. I see. Um, all right. So yeah, this is something that I updated yesterday. So yesterday, if you remember, hey Giordano, hey Alexandro, ¿cómo estáis? We are building this app, Alexandro. It's a classification app for multiple music catalog, for a music catalog. So here you will see all the tracks listed, right? Oops. Here you will see all the tracks listed, and you will be able to change the genre, change the title, the author, assign tags, disable or enable, and we are building all of this in React with TypeScript. And then yesterday and the previous days, we were working on this part. Now we are working on this other part. But before working on that, we are refactoring the code a little bit. So something that I did yesterday, if you guys remember, and if not, I will remind you. Yesterday, the data type that we have for the tracks was an array of objects. That's not very cool because at this very first time that we have 100 tracks, 200 tracks, or 1000 tracks, having an array means that if we want to update a track, if we want to do any change, it will have a linear cost, right? Because in the worst case scenario, you will need to traverse all the array to update a certain track. Since our application is super heavy and is super intense on updating data, on updated specific tracks, we need to improve that. So the way I improved that was actually to have this object of all the tracks. So we have as the key the ID of the track, and then we have the object itself with the track data. So the cool stuff about this is that now all the updates that we perform in the application, so if you go to, for example, add genre, all of that is, well, add genre, yeah, add genre should be a good example. No, a genre, no, update track. Yeah, this is the one that I'm looking for. So if you see, this function right now is constant, but before this function was linear. So we improve a lot the runtime for this part, because right now we are just simply say if well, this is just basically checking in constant time if the track exists, meaning like if the track was loaded correctly in the application, then what we actually do is get me the track, update the track information, and update the state with that information as well. So it was a great update that we performed yesterday. Anyway, this is just for context. Giordano, never stop. Unless like there is something like makes you stop. All right, so since given the fact that right now instead of an array of objects we have an object of objects, we need to normalize the tracks in a very different way. So instead of having, instead of doing what I was planning before, we can do the following. So track smart. So we got the keys. Oh wow, it's rock. Let me change a little bit the music. I mean, I like rock, but I'm not in the mood right now for that super intense music. I need something more chill. Um, Yeah, that's better. All right, so we got the track key, which is gonna be a string, and then what we actually can do is, so we will get the track, which is gonna be an object. I'm thinking that we should probably use a reducer, but let me just do this real quick, and then we can refactor and improve the code a little bit. So we got a track smog. Why is this complaining? How come? It's how come it's not a mock example, right? It's a stream, bro. And track, it's a stream. Bossa Nova. Bossa Nova, Bossa Nova. Yeah, I can try. Oh no. Oh, Brazil. Let me see. I actually kind of like the music that is now playing. Let me see, Bossa Nova. So you're from Brazil, Alexandro? All right. Okay. So we got the track there. Then we call our beautiful function transform track. Oh wow, this one is so chill. I like it. Thanks for the suggestion. And then that's pretty much it. We return the transform track. Oh, but actually, yeah, let me do. Yeah, but this is not exactly the data that we are looking for, right? Because this should be something like we have the key right there, the track key, and then the transform track. Okay, let me do another version, which is gonna be using the reducer. Okay. So we can follow the same approach, object.keys from trucks data. And then here we can just call the reducer. So for those of you that are not familiarized, in the first place, we will need to have a reducer, which is a function that we will implement. And then in the second place, we'll have here the current, the initial value, right? So in our case, since what we need to return is an object, we can simply have an empty object. Nolo, I'm in Haitian. I always look for chill music on YouTube whenever I'm working. I love it. Actually, bro, I've never thought about Bossa Nova. Um, but I really love it. Nice, Haiti. That's so awesome. I really love and I appreciate that you are connecting from Haiti. Um, how is everything going, bro? Are you a software developer? What do you do for a living? I'm curious. Hey, why is this complaining? It says no overloader method returns the names of the numerable string properties and methods of an object. Blah blah blah. Much blah 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 blah. Object dot keys. Sometimes argument of time is type void. All right, let me open the reduce. Yeah, so we got the previous value, the current index, and then the initial value. Does it mean that I need to provide the type? The type. So this is a generic for, but that's interesting. 1 second. Yeah, we need previous value string, current value string. So yeah, so this is exactly what we are missing from this declaration. Now it's complaining on the reducer because it says callback function previous value overload previous value current value number array. But actually I feel the JavaScript reduce, I think this should be more than enough. Like I don't really need the third parameter. Yeah, so you can have, this is exactly what I'm looking for, right? And what we are doing, like we got the array of keys, then we call the reduce, and then we pass a reducer with the accumulator and the current value, and that's pretty much it. But apparently, but the index, for example, is optional, it's completely optional. So maybe I'm not reading correctly through all of these. So, okay, so it's saying, let me read this again. So no overload matches this call. Overload one of three. So we have the callback function, which is previous value, current index, and the array. It returns an string, initial value string. Gave the following error. Yeah, I think the problem with this is that I think the problem is with this part, because basically it's saying, yeah, that you will return a string, a string, a string. And what we actually need to do is return an object. Normal structs. TypeScript sometimes gives me some pain, but it's fine. We will make it done. So in this case, our reducer, this is completely wrong because the previous value should be an object. The current value should be an object as well. Oh, but we are traversing the, okay, so this is a string, that's right. But then the return type, all of these should be an object. A function whose declared type is neither void. Okay, let's keep doing this and let's see what we got. Okay, so actually this is wrong because the previous value is an object, should be an object, not a string. And then the return type should be a string as well. But let's not wait time as of now on TypeScript. Yeah, let's not waste time on that. So what we actually need to do here is reusing the part that we got before, right? So the current value will be a string. So we can uncomment this part. So this will be the track key. So we pass it right there. Once we got that, we get the track, then we transform the track. And once we have that, what we actually need to do is return the previous value and then generate the new track with the new value, with the transform value. So in this case, this will be, well, we can reuse the track key right there and then pass here the transformed track. Oh, and now it's working. All right, we fixed that. Let me remove this. How funny. I'm working as a data analyst. I used R and some Python at work. I work on macroeconomics, time series data. I'm learning data science with the IBM. Wow, bro. That's amazing. That's really cool. Are you interested to learn like some JavaScript, some front-end skills with React and stuff like that? I think you should. But that's so great, man. Macroeconomics, time series data. Nice. And do you work in for an IT company or you work remote for another kind of firm? I'm curious. All right, let me get back to the application. Let me restart that part out. Mm, um, mm, 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 we got what one type error. Title of undefined track dot title. All right, so let's try something first before going there, which is I wanna see. Let me comment this part out. And what I wanna actually do is console log or put a debugger so I can see what's the transform data. Oh, because actually we didn't implement the transform one. Okay, never mind. Forget about that. Forget about that. Let's now focus on this transform track. So what I want to do, instead of return empty, we will just return instead of return undefined, we'll just return that. I think this will make the app not to break. So let me restart that part. I'm also interested in software development. My goal is to be able to do both, build model and build software combined. You're super smart, man. I think that's super important. That's super important. Do you have any experience in React and stuff like that, or haven't worked yet with that? All right, so let me restart this part. Let me put a debugger to see that the data is the untransformed or the raw track that we are getting from the server. Okay, super cool. React gives you headaches. No problem. I will help you to not suffer with React. Why is React giving you headaches? Like, what do you think is the part that are more complicated or that is causing you more trouble? All right, and we just simply need to transform this. We will just remove this part out. We will remove that part out. And actually what we need to implement is just like a transformation. So let's open the track types on the right side so we can have a visual reference. So at the end of the day, this is what we actually need to return here. So we need to return an object. So let me use multiple cursors here so we can, you know, have something like that. Oh, sorry. What did I do? Oh, okay. 1 second. All right. And then let me fix this part real quick. All right. Multi-cursors is your best friend. All right. So I feel like in this case, let's open now the mock, the fixtures. Okay. So the ID doesn't change. So we should be able to do data.id. The author doesn't change. By the way, guys, if you know any other better to do these transformations, I think there are some libraries that actually you can provide that data type and they will transform these automatically. So if you have any suggestions on this one, just let me know and I will just use it. So I'm using this as of now because this is like kind of like what I know, and I will not search right now for other ideas on the internet. But if you have any ideas, just let me know so I can use that. All right, so now this is exactly what we need to transform. So transform license, we will get this stuff right there. So this will be a function that will get a license as a string, because that's what the backend gives us. But we are going to return, if you open again the track, we are going to return, where are you, this license type. Nice, 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 nice. I guess that this could be as well undefined, because if there's no license, we should return undefined. So if license, if it's empty license, then we'll just return undefined. And probably we should update this as well to say that license could be empty. No, I don't like this import. So this is a pro tip if you're using Lodash. Try always to use to import Lodash in this way, because you will it will reduces a lot the size of the import. I'm working for the Haitian government. For now, I have friends in the US who are planning to build a good outsourcing company. Nice, love that, man. I'm very interested to know more about your learning process on React. Can you send me a hello world email to @ferreiro.me, or follow or send me a DM on Twitter? Yeah, I'm very curious because I wanna help people like you to learn better React. So that's why I'm asking. All right, so transfer license, and then here we need to add to do a string to enum transformation. A property. Nice. We will do the same here. So transform provider. Transform provider. We got a provider as a string, and then we will return a provider. Oh, no, but not from React, please. A provider from our data types. And this cannot be nullable. We should have a provider, otherwise that track should not be on our catalog. We will do that to do string to enum. I will just put the chat section so people can see it. I'm sure. Hi guys. You guys are so much fun. I'm sure you can code better than me. Okay, and now let's do the transform storage data.storage. Transform storage right there. So we will got a storage as a string, and then we will return a data storage as the value, and then tags will not transform the tags, so they should go directly like that or fall back to an empty array. And then the title should be data.title and then data.url. Nice, 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 nice. So we just simply need to work on these transformations from the string to enum. I'm the guy who made the Stardew Valley. I don't know what's that, but sounds like cool. Oh wow, a video game. That's nice. Wow. Did you make this? Wow. I love these graphics, man. They are so cool. So cool. Wow, you're moving to the valley. You mean to the Silicon Valley? Create a farm of your dreams. Wow. All right, so everybody download his game. Wow, that's so nice. Thanks for sharing that. How long did it take? In which technology did you do this? In Unity? Nice. I'm so glad. I think it's like 15 hours. Wow. So glad that there are so many smart people watching my live stream right now. All right, so let's implement a couple of cases here. So transform provider storage. What's the I feel like this should be more than enough. Okay, so we can have here provider why is this not okay? Provider dot what the hell is this not importing? Oh, okay. Why is this not being resolved? Because I didn't import that stuff. And then, otherwise, we should throw an error because if it's not part of the data storage, we should not allow it. I wish I could get donations on Twitch, to be honest. um, how hard is to develop a game using Minecraft Minecraft command blocks? How hard is that? I've never done anything related to that. I've never done any video game, so I'm very curious to know. Uh, Let me go to track. All right, so I will just have a default value, which is gonna be a provider unknown. So we can fall back to that. And then add providers here, so we can have unknown provider. Okay. Um, I think the rest, all the examples are do, do. Okay, perfect. And then we just simply need to do the same for the switch in the transform license. So in this case, we got a license. I think we are only supporting as of now 2 licenses. So return. All right. So it seems to me that we just finished the transformation. License is not supporting an invalid CC. Yeah. So actually, the license should be optional. So the default will be no license. All right. We got it. We got it. Woo! Nice. Nice, 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 nice. All right, so we have just done the transformation logic for the data from the backend to our own data types inside the app. So I will just commit the whole stuff. So transform backend into frontend types. Nice. How is people going? I want to know. Oh, you answer me about React. I feel like React offers too much options. I'm just reading a lot of articles on React. It's like React with TypeScript, React with hook, React with class, React with just okay. Too many. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like they're the entry barrier for React sometimes could be higher, but I feel like it's just because I feel we are not doing a good, like all the people sharing about React and stuff like that. Well, I may include myself. I don't know because I'm not sharing that much knowledge about React. I'm just sharing people how I work and how I'm doing things with React. But yeah, I think we should simplify all the options. Like React could be overwhelming, especially if you're new to React, because there are so many stuff, as you said. Sorry, as you said. Um, but I think like at the end of the day, um, the basics are the basics, and they are not like super crazy basics. So I don't know, man. Like, just give it a try, and if I can help you in any way, just let me know, because I think React is super cool. I want to try Vue. So many friends of mine use Vue, and they are very excited. I'm very happy about Vue, so I should give it a try. All right, so we have just worked doing the refactoring, which wasn't expected at the very first beginning of this live stream, but I think it was really necessary. And now, once we have that stuff ready, so let's see that everything is keep working as we could expect. So we are able. So I can add change the genres. I can add new genres. Okay, enable, disable. I can change the author. Okay, it's working great. It's working great. Let me try with some more couple of stuff here. So I will add a new type of genre. We should be able to see that genre above and below, blah, blah. Okay, everything seems to be working really well. All right. Now let's work on the header. So let's go real quick here and let's see what's gonna be our strategy for working with the header. So I clearly see that we will need the genres. I feel like we can reuse this code right there. Having some sort of like a global state about what's the current genre. It could be all, or it could be a specific genre. And then we can just use that information to filter out the array or the list. For the tags, pretty much the same. So we already have the tags list here. As you can see in the app, we have the tags, we have the genres. So that's pretty simple because we have that information already in place. Then we have the pending to classify as well as is disabled. These can easily be like some toggles. We can reuse the same toggles that we have here. And then the search field, which, I mean, it's going to be a simple input that we are going to show. I think in the design, though, I made the stuff like the tag should be shown there. So that's something that we should take into account. So, all right. So what's going to be our strategy for this piece of code? Actually, let me see what we can do here. The way I see this is keeping the state in the app and then having a component and a statelet component that will be the one rendering the header. And that component will have a specific callbacks to manipulate this state in the app.json. So let's do that. And if we see another better strategy, we can refactor that later on. So let me close this part out. Okay. So what stages are we gonna need, right? Couple of them. So the first one is gonna be active genre. By default, I want to have all. So actually, let me check if we do have in track genre all. So we can add, let me genre. All right, so we can have that as the default value. Then in the tags, by default, it will be empty, but an empty array. And let me extract. So just to be clear, this will be query states, and these are share states in the app, right? I don't really need those comments, but I'm just writing them down so you can all see that, which is it's very simple. Nice. So we have the active genre, active tags. Then is pending to classify. Well, in this case, instead of is disabled, I think we were using is enabled. So is enabled. We can have false by default. And then we will have here eventually we can reuse a library for creating forms and stuff like that, but as of now we can just go with this approach. And then we can just simply create here a header component. So that we are gonna create right there, and we can just export from here. Nice. And then we will need React from React. Okay. Let's see if it's suggesting me to import header. Yes, nice. Header cannot be used, it returns voids. Wow. You are so cool, TypeScript. Okay. All right, so let's add some debug here, like it's the header. Nice. Okay. Track lists. Seems to me that we can reuse the same content. All right, and then we can just simply add this styles dot content. Um, hey, welcome, go away name. What's your name, bro? Thanks for dropping by. Okay. So we have the header here, and it's gonna be pretty simple. We can let me use the raw from design, so we can have raw right there. That's gonna contain a gutter of, I don't know, 24 maybe. We will see that, and then we can add columns. Auto import from design. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking for. So can you please import that from design as well? There we go. What's up with this? Has that corresponding closing? All right. Pretty simple. Hi. All right. So this should be all right. So we have the all genres here. Tags. Depending to classify, like honestly, we don't really care as of now. We can add that, so no rush, but we didn't implement that functionality just yet. It's disabled, and then pending to classify, and then here it will go the search input field. So let me open real quick and design. So we can see their documentation and see all the components with the with their props. You have a syntax error. All right, so search input field, input, where's the input? All right, input right there. I think design, by the way, is super cool. I really love this UI framework. Yeah, provides us already all of these nice input fields for search, so we can use that with no problem. So I'm not sure which one I like it better, Probably the one that is shorter because we don't have much space. So probably this first one is nice. I like the search part, but we don't have that much space. So if I'm correct, 1 and 2, so this should be the second. All right, enter button. So that one should be the one that we are looking for. And then so we need to import the input there, and then we just can simply have search. Well, actually, I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of destructuring. Okay, that works. All right, so I guess that if I open the console right there, it will output a couple of stuff, right? Like it will output the value that the user is searching for. No? Okay. If I click enter, all right, that's fine. What's the property on enter button? To show an enter button after input. All right, yeah. On search, the callback function trigger when you click on the search icon, the clear icon, or press the enter key. Search box with loading. Yeah, we don't care about the loading as of now, but we will later on. Okay, so that's fine. We can extract this callback function outside of the header and actually feel oh, come on. Okay, on search, we just simply pass that callback right there, and then we just simply need to say that this is gonna be a string, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Okay. Everybody who is now watching the live stream, give a good like and subscribe. I want to see all of you subscribe. We have a goal. We need 6 more people to hit our goal for today's live stream. So please subscribe. All right. So that works fine. This is exactly what we need. And then we'll probably need to pass here some callbacks like on search, on update genre or chain tags, etc. Okay, cool. What else do we need? So I was thinking, you know what? I believe that this tags part, we can actually get the same stuff and just put it right there. Like we don't, honestly, we don't really need to have like this right there and then have the tags list right here. We can just simply have the tag list to occupy 100%, and then we just have the filter on genres above. So yeah, the tags, we don't need it right there, but we can have here another row, and then we can have here the tags. Okay. And then we can just simply add a divider. So we have the divider in end that is this guy right there. You guys cannot imagine how much time I'm saving by having this UI framework or UI library. Honestly, it's crazy. Can you imagine that we should implement all of that stuff on our own? What a waste of time. In the past, I was like, oh yeah, I want to implement everything. But once you get to a point where you know how to implement stuff, it's way faster to just use a UI framework or build your own. But I strongly suggest you, like, if you are starting to code right now, like, to implement the components on yourself on your own, so you can learn how to work with them and how to create them. But once you get to a point where you know that, um, trying to reinvent the whole stuff over and over is not a good idea for sure. Um, so let me move this outside of the content. Nice. Oh, where it goes? Where did it go? I don't see the divider. Why is why is this not? It should, right? Oh, okay. It's right there. It's right there. Okay, nice. So, in this case, the way I want to follow the spam, basically the span for end design or this UI framework itself, is the oops. Let me just save this. So, 1 second. And then right there. So, how many of you, this is a question for all the people in the chat. By the way, this is wrong because we are using a grid of, not gather, but we are using a grid of 24. That means that if we have four, each of them should be 6 to occupy the same size. How many of you are very familiarized with grids and layouts when it comes to design and CSS and stuff like that? I'm just sending a question to each of the chats. All right. I want to know, because if you guys already know this, like, I will not explain that, because why? But if you don't know it, then we will. All right, so pending to classify is disabled. I actually feel there normally this functionality, the search tracks, will not be used that much. Is disabled pending to classify, it is, and probably they should not occupy that much. And then we have the all genres. Okay, I think it works. In any case, I want to decrease a little bit this. So we removed 2 and 2, 4. That means that this needs to increase to 10. All right, so these two ones will be smaller. We will have the input field to be bigger. Sweet. Nice. All right, so what I want to do is actually the all genres. If you go to, let me go to track list. 1 second. Yeah, so grids, I'm not talking about CSS grids, but grids itself on design and on this kind of UIs means that, for example, you can divide your screen or the width of the page into a 24 columns grid. That means that basically each column in the grid, right, every single column will be 1 out of 24. So for example, in the grid that we are using right here, we have a 24 grid. That means that, for example, here, if we go to the header, we are using a 24 grids, and what we are saying is, I want the genres to occupy 6 columns in the grid, depending to classify 4 columns in the grid, and this last one to occupy 10. And if you sum all of these, they are 24. So you could potentially come here and say, well, I want the all genders to occupy the full size of the grid, and you can put 24. You see, and this will occupy 24. Why is this important? Because basically, when we are thinking about designs and when we are thinking about UIs, we always talk to designers about grids. So, okay, so what's the size of our grid? It could be 24 columns. It could be 16 columns. Basically, your design, when you're working on the responsive design, your design will adapt into that grid. So grids is basically one way of keeping the proportions on your design. I don't know if it makes sense or if I explained it correctly. I think so, but just let me know any questions. By the way, guys, what other music should I play? I really love bossa nova, but I want to change a bit for the live stream. So, what other suggestions do you have? Afro beats. Okay. I need to go to track list to actually see what's the stuff that we are using for filtering out the tags. Come on. Are you kidding? Now I understand. All right. Um, so I feel like we should, like, if we can extract the tag selection as well as the genre selection, should be fine. Should be fine because, all right. So we have on select, on deselect options, default selected values. I think on select. Yeah, the cool stuff is that yesterday we did a really great exercise over creating really great contracts for each component. So we can use that very easily. Okay. So what I'm thinking that we should do is first extract the tag selection into its own component because we will reuse that in two places. Not into its own component, into its own file. Do the same for disable switch and do the same for genre selection. But before that, we need to make sure the genre selection, I'm not fully sure though. I'm not fully sure on the genre selection though, because it will not share everything. We will just only need this selector, but the rest of the stuff will have a different layout. Yeah, so the tag selection makes sense. The genre selection, I don't think so. We can get back to this later and see if it makes sense, but I don't think so. So let's do that. Let's extract the tag selection. And then we can just simply export this thing out. All right, is this all right? We should just simply clean this thing out. That's it. Remove the divider as well as the input. All right, I think we just extract that piece out. And then here we should go to the tag selection. There we go. Tag selection, auto import. And it should be working fine. Let's see. All right. So once we have that extracted, we can simply come to, where is the so that's the tag selection. All right, so we should just simply go to the header and import that component and use that component for our stuff. So where is the tags? Right there. Nice. So we can simply call the tag selection, but the thing is that we should pass a couple of things there. So we should pass on select, on deselect, the options as well as the default selected value. I don't really like, by the way, the name options. But I guess it makes sense because we are passing like the options of the selection. So semantically, I think makes sense. But anyway, let me go to the tag selection. There are a couple of things that we should actually provide. So we should provide a couple of callbacks functions. I always do this. Like the cool stuff about having an auto formatter is that you shouldn't really worry about whether this is beautiful or not, because once you save, it will automatically format that for you. And you cannot imagine how much time did I saved by having the auto formatter. It's really, really crazy, to be honest. So what else do we have to do here? So there are a couple of things that we should actually provide. So on tag selection, you know what I'm gonna be trying to do on deselect tag, on select tag, on deselect tag, tags, yeah, because that's the options and default selected values. Okay, so what's the name that we use in app? I think we call it like active tags, so we can use the same name to keep consistency of over the application. So let's start doing that. So we will have as the props, so the list of active tags, we will have the tags. Laura JW es quien es la Laura que yo creo que es. Is the Laura that I think. It's too soon to go bed. It's just only 12 a.m., right? All right, on select tag, on deselect tag. ¿Quién eres? ¿Eres la Laura que yo creo que eres? Eres la Laura que creo que eres. Oye, muchas gracias por pasarte. ¿Qué tal por Sevilla? Ay, Laura. On active, on select tag. So this will be a function itself. You know what? I would really love to create certain types for those functions because it makes the whole app more self-contained. Because right now, like if you, the problem of typing function right there is like, okay, yeah, you are specifying that it's a function, but actually you're not being very granular. Buenas noches, Dani. Good night. right. So and then the tags. Ooh, and then the tags will be a yeah. Both of them will use the same properties or the same types. In both cases, they will be a list of tags. And then default selected value. This will be. Why is this complaining? Oh, I see. Because we should transform that thing out. So actually, we can active tags lists, and this will basically be object the active tags dot map, and then this will be basically saying we have the tag, and then the value will be tag dot value. Nice. And then we can just pass this. This is the magic of TypeScript right here, right now, honestly. Because like without like remembering what's the API to what's the contract for that component, I like it's already telling me. And Martes. Descansa, guapa. Good night. Why is this complaining? Oh yeah, it's complaining because we need to provide certain properties inside the header. All right, so let's go here, and we just simply need to say here active tags, the list of tags, and then on select tag, on deselect tag. Oh, you know what? Oh my god, I think yeah, but oh, all right. So we should probably need to do a quick refactor on that. Oh, but this is only for a track, right? So this select track, select tag, select tag, and deselect tag. This is mainly for a track itself, but we actually need to. All right, so they are completely different methods. So we are good to go. On select active tags. On deselect. Yeah, they are completely different things, as you know. So no problem at all. And this could be easily select active tag, select active tag, deselect active tag, and that's pretty much it. And then we can have here deselect tag, and I guess that we will receive a tag as the value, and then here another tag as the value. So let's do that. Let's see if there is anyone. Buenas noches, Danny. Good night, bro. Thanks for watching. Gracias. All right. Wow, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, actually, so that functionality, the ability to add new tags, we shouldn't have that. We should not have that. Epic, electronic, chill. Why I'm not seeing epic? Let me see, because apparently there is some inconsistencies right now from what I'm seeing in the UI. So chill, cinematic, epic, chill, cinematic, epic, and electronic. So actually, this may be because we need to figure that out, because the electronic one, I don't see it here, and it's probably because we don't have that as the default tags, right? Yeah, all of these should come from the API anyways. So we will not have this problem once we get that from the API. Yeah. And then what we should disable here is the ability to actually add new tags. Like we shouldn't be able to add new tags, because here we are just simply filtering out all the tags that we already have. So we shouldn't be able to add or remove any tag. So I need to go to select, well, actually, let's go first to our component here. So the tag selection, option, style, default value, tag render, mode, tags on select, on deselect, tag render. Let me go to select. There's all right, let's do that. All right. I think there should be a property to be able to okay. I mean, there should be an option here to actually say whether we allow to add more tags or not. So let's see if we have that or not. Oof, there's so many options here. Let's see if there is any example. Yeah, actually, basic usage, tag render, basic usage, default value, style on deselect, on select, mode, tags. What's the mode means? Or what are the modes? Whether the current search will be cleared on selecting an item only applies when mode is set to, but actually mode set of mode, multiple. This doesn't provide much info. Secret combo box. Let's see if there is. Yeah, this is exactly what I want. The undersize changed. Is that because maybe the mode is tag render? Let's see what's tag render. Okay. Let's see if we change, for example, the mode from tags to multiple. Because what we need to make sure is that here we are not allowing to. Okay, no data, perfect. Nice. All right, so we got it. So it means that basically the mode, if it's on tags mode, then it means that we can add more tags. But if it's on, what's the name? Multiple modes, that means that we will not be able to add any more elements or any more items. So what we are gonna end up doing here is passing here O A B C D F G H I J K L M N. What we are gonna end up doing here is actually the ability to pass a mode. So either this should be tags or multiple. This should probably be an enum. So the ability to pass a mode, I want this to be optional. So this could be tags, multiple, or undefined. And then here is where we are just gonna get the value for mode. And if doesn't exist any mode, like if the user didn't provide any mode, then we will fall back to default mode, which is gonna be the tags. So get mode, mode or tags, and then we can just simply pass the select mode, and now we should be able to actually add a new element. What's going on? What? That's not what I'm looking for. What? Is this playing with me? Yeah, this is exactly what we need. And then be able to provide a different mode for the header. So in this case, the header will have a multiple mode. Yay! Thanks, a new subscriber, well, a new follower on Twitch. Yay! Oh. Oh. All right, so no data, and then here I should be able to add a new one. Perfecto. Perfecto. Vamos. Is there any way to make this bigger? Large. Size. Where is the default? I guess that large. Let's try that out. It's part of the... Where did I add? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, sure. All right, let's see if that works. Because if that works, that's exactly what I want. I want to increase the size a little bit. Hey! Thanks, welcome, Naken. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I see this bigger. So we can also provide this as an optional value. So let's go here and say we can have as a size large default, and then we can just simply pass. Oh my god, I love this song. Para para ba para 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 para. As you see, I always alpha short the props because they are an arbitrary number of props, right? So how do you normally organize that? Size. Okay, yeah, we need to. How do you normally organize your props? Oh. So, all right, let's see, because the size is not. Okay, so probably we are missing one size type. Yeah. I feel like this last part we don't actually need to provide that value. All right, and if you don't provide that, we will just fall back to middle, and that's fine. Oh, okay. Nice. Is that the big version? Yay! 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 Nice. And then if I add more tags here, I will have them available right there. Nice. Nice! Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Can we also increase, this is a really small nitpick, but can we increase as well the size of the tag item? Does the tag item have I'm sure there must be some sort of like tag. There must be a way to increase the size, I'm sure. This is cool. I like it. Well, I prefer the version that we have, but no, it's okay. Let's keep moving forward. I'm just gonna commit this part. All right, let's keep moving. All right. We need to add depending to classify. Where is the okay. Let's add the switchers. So let me go back again to track list. Let's see the do we have a switch here? All right, yeah, the disable switch on chain is enabled. I like this kind of construction, but at the end of the day, it's very similar to what they have inside the switch itself. So honestly, I don't believe that we should worry too much about using this particular component because it's just simply a wrapper over. Yeah. No, actually, just let me extract the just let me delete this component because it's like a wrapper and it doesn't make any sense because we are basically having the same checked. So it's check if it's enabled and then on change. Better, way better. Like there's no, like it does not make any sense to have our own component if we are just like putting a wrapper over the switch itself. I like his rec too, but I prefer Coco. Coco is the best movie ever. I must tell you. All right, so let's see. All right, so let me just copy over this switch. Let me put it inside the header. And we can just put it right there. So the only thing that we will need is actually tags at the end. Okay. Let me just pass down this state that we have right there, which is active is enabled. And let me pass that to the header. So we can use that. Ooh, why is this using on deselect? This should be lowercase. All of them should be in lowercase. Lowercase, please. And then this should be a boolean, simply a boolean. All right, so active is enabled, and then here we just simply need to pass change. Chain active is enabled. Select active key, update, try. All right. This will be a boolean, and then we just simply need sec active is enabled to that value, and we are good to go. Chain active, and then we just simply need to add that stuff, the callback function inside the child component. We just simply need to move this up. We can just pass that, please alpha short, and then we can just get on change blah 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 right there. And then we just simply need to import the switch, which is very, very simple. What's up with the on change? It says that cannot find name switch. Yes, you can find that name. To type switch change event handler function provides not match for the signature. It's okay. So actually what we can do is changing the function on chain active is enabled to be this one. Let's see if we can import that one, because if we can, that would be awesome. Yeah, so we can import that stuff right there, and then we will have an error here. I'm assuming same active is enabled because it doesn't follow the value, and then here is the event as a second argument. Not really. All right, I added the functionality just chatting on Twitch, and I'm just getting random people asking random things. So so funny. Okay, so let's see. All right, so that seems to be working. I want to add actually. So let me go here to toggle or switch statement. Switch. Where is the music? I want to add some sort of legend next to the toggle, but I'm not sure if I am able to do that. Blur, class name, on-chain, size, loading, disable, default checked, autofocus, focus. No, it's okay. We can. I can simply add a text row tag selection. Yeah, right here. Why is this doing this? Just because it doesn't have enough space, or just because? No, I just think it's because the way the paragraph works. Because if I change that to an spam is not the same. Okay, that works. So let me fix this a little bit, the margin to the left, and then we could just simply have the same stuff for the pending to classify. So in this case, is classified. Yeah, it could be great if we can add a counter of how many results do we get. Okay. So active is classified. And then there is this other one, on chain active is classified, which is chain. What's up with this? We don't have a state for that. Active is classified. Active is classified. Okay, that's so cool, because that means that this will have is enabled, is classified. Each of them, they will have their own stuff. Then we can have the search. Okay, let's keep rocking. Let's keep rocking. There is a very weird, though, or not so cool padding. Um, I could decrease that a little bit. So I want 2 rems up, 0 on the left, on the right side, and then 1 rem on the bottom, then this is the content, right, for the track lists. So same story, but the opposite. This will basically be 0, 0 to rem on the bottom. All right, that's so awesome. Oh, actually, we need this should be 2 rem as well, because we do want the left and the right margin. Hey, what the yeah. Nice. I'm loving this, to be honest. We need to figure out the part for the Firebase. I can envision that this classification about the old genres and stuff like that will not be as important as the is classified and is enabled, which, because that's kind of the flow that we will follow with this application anyways. Okay. Alright. So the last part that we need to do is the genre selection. We can have that as optional. Yeah, let's extract this thing as well into its own component. Hey, what's up, bro? So yeah, let's extract that into its own component, and then let's move these there. Actually, I've just realized that this import should be into the app. We already have that, so we don't need it there. And let me actually check if we are using that any other place on the app. Yeah, so this should go away. This should go away as well. And then this is the gender selection, so we just simply need to remove all of these components that are not longer needed. We just don't need the tracks context. Oh yeah. And then we just simply need to remove that part, and we should be ready to go. The only part that is left is actually to have control over the over this stuff right there. So let's delete this. Let's delete that. Let's delete that part. And then gender selection is not imported, but we should. And then, boom, it's already imported. And now if I go to gender selection, the only part that is left, so let's check if everything is working fine. Yeah, go ahead. What's your question? Actually, this is annoying me, the add item part, so okay. And then there we go, much better. And then the other part that we need to work on is actually the ability to hide that particular stuff from the header. But that's a very easy thing to do, because here we can just simply have, let me check something real quick. Okay, so here's, we can simply say we will probably need a fragment here. There we go. And then we just need to pass this in the props. Boolean. Can add new genres, and then this will be, this is completely optional. So we need to just simply destructure or get that value. All right. And then we can just pass that. So by default, we should, like, we are enabled that to true. So I should be able to add new genres. And now we should just simply get that component, move it to the header. So let's go to the header. And in the part that it says all genres, we just simply need to add the genre selection. Why does it not auto import? And then can add new genres, right? So I'm gonna use here multi-cursor, my favorite thing in the world, my best friend. I am just wait a second. I will finish this and I will answer your question. On change, yeah, on change we want to listen to that. Selected value. So actually, that should be active genre. We should have a state for that, which is really awesome that we already have that. So active genre. Perfect. And then we just simply need to pass the selected values, the active genre. The items are all the list of genres, so we just simply need to pass down into the props the genres, genres list. So genre, a list of genres right there. We should probably need to import this in. All right, perfect. And then I think we only have one thing left. What's up with this? It says it's not assignable to tribe. Okay, same story here. So active genres list. So this will be genres, genre, and then this genre. This is the only downside, that we need to do those transformations, but actually, to be completely frank with you, boolean is not a signable active genre. Okay, we need to just put this as string. But to be completely frank with you, I think it's not a problem, because on-chain active genre is not a problem, because it's part of using an external library that you should update your model to meet their API and their contracts. And I think we're doing fine, because at the level of our application, we are just keeping the 1 second. So this should be, let's put a function. It will fail, but yeah, at the level of our application, we're using our own data types, and we are respecting that data types. And then we only transform them once we actually need to pass down to the external library. So I think I'm very happy with that. For sure, it's not cool that we need to an active genre. We need to transform that over and over, but they are just like a couple of simple or very small arrays. So it's not a big deal. Chain active genre, the value should be a string, and then sect active genre to be the value. Nice. Are you still around? Are you still around? I finished. All right, so let's check sec active genre. Okay. So this should be, all right. So I think we have a function here, transform. So we should simply need to do the following stuff, which is gonna be the as type. Where is? Yeah, this stuff right there, which I don't necessarily like that much, but that's the only way to cast the value. So genre, let's say you got the value, genre type, and active genre, value. Let me check this real quick. So your question is, really, yesterday? Yeah, a lot. Yes, I'm still here. Okay, so to your question, let's answer a couple of questions here. So I have program and admin control panel where you can add games to a list. Now I would like to see it in another list, so I use local storage to do that. But if I'm hosting the website and add something to my list, my friends can see the games I added if they visit my page. Yeah. So you need a database for that. That's the a database and an API that you can expose so your friends can consume that information. Um, there are a couple of options that you can use out there. So I assume that you can add games to a list. Now I would like to see it in another list. So it all depends the kind of application that you're trying to implement. So for example, if it's an ephemeral application where you want to play with your friends, you can use a chat. Well, or let me show you. Like if the information, you don't need the information to be saved or to be persisted, you can use what is come on, you can use sockets and you can have a chat. So basically your friends can connect to your computer, well, to your computer now, but your friends can connect to your server at the port that you specify. For doing that, you will probably need a utility called ngrok. I'm telling you not for production. I'm telling you if you want to play with this and just have fun with your friends. So one way of doing this, if you don't need the data to be saved and to be persisted, is to use a socket. So you can have a stream of data that basically you can send to your friends and they can see what you're adding and what you're removing. And then in order to open your local host so your friends can connect to that page and see that information, you will need something like ngrok. I don't recommend you this for production. If what you actually need is a website that you can actually save and add information, remove information, and your friends can visit that, yeah, for sure you cannot use local storage because that's only on your browser, on your local machine. So you will need a couple of things. One is a database if you need to persist that information. Another option is in your server, for example, if you are using Node.js, you can have a cache. So you can have a way of actually saying, this is the information, I want you to cache this information. And then you can have a couple of endpoints to update, remove that information and update in the cache. So your friends, anytime that access the website, can see that information. But yeah, I think those are a couple of options that you can use for the database. Either like there are nice options out there like Firebase, with Firebase real-time database that you can use and take a look. I don't know if this answers your questions or you have any other questions in mind. Now we have another question from my friend Fernando Sancanella, that is asking me, have you refactored the code compared with yesterday? A lot of refactor actually. So we have done a couple of things with the code. Just let me fix this part. 1 second. We have done a lot of things because I think the most important one, to be honest with you, was the way I changed the structure for. Okay, I think if I just do genre as genre type, that will work. So the big refactor that we did from yesterday was the mock data, or the way we are saving the information. So if you remember, yesterday it was a list of tracks, right? The problem with that is that once we have like 1,000 tracks, that means that anytime that we want to update a specific value of the track, or any time that, for example, we want to query a certain track, that was in the worst cases scenario, a big O, a linear, a big N, sorry, a linear time. So that was very costly. What I did yesterday was refactoring the array and having an object of objects. So right now, anytime that you want to look up, for example, for a certain track, that will be a constant time. Anytime that you want to update a certain track, it will be constant time because you will be accessed directly in the object. So that was the big refactor from the data model point of view. A couple of things that I did apart from that was extracting these components, the track list, the tax selection, into a separate component, into a separate files. Because basically right now we are using them here as well as here, and here as well as here. Well, I said it wrongly. Here as well as here, and here as well as here. So I extracted those into their own files so we can easily use them. And I think those are the biggest refactors that we did yesterday. We also did another refactor on the way we are having all of these functions. So these are the functions that basically you will be interact with. By the way, I've just realized that I have a pending task here, but we refactored the way we were passing down all the functions, the callback functions here, and now everything is super normalized, or no, the word is not normalized, it's consistent. So all the functions will have the track as the first parameter and the value as the second parameter. So I think those are the biggest refactors that we did yesterday, and that we worked on today. Can I also use a JSON? For sure. I mean, well, Sancanela, Fernando, just let me know if this solves your question, and what do you think about the changes as well? I'm curious. Can I also use a JSON? In which way? I mean, what do you? So I think it could be easier if you share what you have in mind, like how were you planning to solve the problem, so I can understand better how can I help you. But for sure, I mean, MongoDB, for example, all the documents that MongoDB uses is very similar to a JSON. Like it's actually the type of a JSON. So yeah, you can use JSON. Firebase as well. The database uses a similar structure to a JSON. Like it's a JSON actually. So yep, you can use that. But if you have any other question, just no, I don't have a Discord server, but I'm on Twitter, so just feel free to send me any message there. All right. I think we are missing. All right, so we are missing a couple of things here. The first thing is if we go to types track genre. Where is the there we go. So I should be able to see the old genres. Yeah, feel free to send me your messages there, and also subscribe as well. Subscribe, well, follow me on Twitter, on Twitch, so you will be notified when I post new live streams. All right, so I think we got it. We got it. The only thing that we need to remove though is the can change genre selection. All right, so this doesn't seem to be working fine. Oh yeah. And then in the header, can add genre false, and then in the track lists, we can just pass can add genres yes. I'm in love with TypeScript, to be honest, guys. I think it's saving us so much time right now. All right. A lot of people connected to the live stream, so I appreciate that. All right, so let's see. Nice, 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 nice. So here we are not able to add any new genre. Here we are, so we can add a new genre, and we see the genre reflected there. We are able to filter and add certain tags that we can filter out. Then here we can add more tags, new, and see the tags added there, so we can filter out them. We can filter by is classified, is enabled. Nice. And then the search a track. All right, so this is a good let me yeah, absolutely, send me a link. Yes, send me a link and I will take a look. All right, so the only part that I saw that we were not doing right was the comment. There was a comment here which is deselect a tag. If the tag is not deselect tag and select tag, no, actually this is fine because deselecting tag, I think that's fine because let me check. So we are, yeah, we need to implement that deselecting tag, but so we already update the track, so we don't actually need this part. In more places. Nice. What I want to do now is the let me check. Well, we can just is deprecated warning. Find DOM node, but I didn't actually add that stuff. Oh, this is a warning because of the library that we are using, so we shouldn't care at all about that. What I want to make sure is all right, let me check. So we have the genres there. We can select multiple tags. We can play. We should add another column for is classified. So track list. That should be pretty easy. And then we can call these enabled, classified. Where is the, there we go, class. Oh, okay. Yeah, because this is using the wrong name, so this should be classified, and then this one should be enabled. Yeah, there we go. And then we should just adjust this a little bit. So because this is 8, 10, 10, 20, 26, so we need to decrease to somewhere else. Let me see if actually we can just have these one-on-one, because maybe that's good enough. And then we need to update, because there is another place where we are using disabled and it should be enabled. And then here it should be classified. And then we should just simply need to update this. Well, this can be is classified. And then we should just only provide the callback function. Nice, thank you. I will take a look. Thanks, man. I will take a look. Yes, I have to. Yeah, this is a little bit small. So what we are gonna do is just add 2, 2, and make this 6. I feel like the audio, the audio should be enabled, classified. There we go. So let's try that out. let me change the example. And for example, like say that this is classified. Let's see if that works. Nice. So that works. Um, okay. Um, yeah, and I just simply need to work on that. Thanks, man. It's been many years of coding like a monkey. Nice. It's amazing that you are coding with 16, bro. Like if you push hard on that and you work super hard on your development skills, you will be a rock star, or at least you will be a really good software developer. What are the technologies that you know? Like, what do you know so far? Which programming languages? All right, so I will just decrease this to 5 and I will increase this to 7 because I want to make sure that, I mean, the metadata part, like honestly, I don't care that much, but audio classification, enable, disable, I do care. Something that we can do apart from that is increase a little bit the container size because I believe that this application will be consumed on desktop. So we can make it as maximum as 1200 so we can have more space. And yeah, and then we can just revisit this eventually and see if we need to increase the metadata part a little bit. Nice, bro. Like, you know, Python, C Sharp, C++, PHP, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's amazing, honestly. I think once you learn one language like super good, it's so easy to move and to transition to other languages. So easy. Except if it changes the paradigm like drastically. For example, if you come from an imperative programming language and then you start in a more in a functional programming language, that changes the story a little bit. But from one imperative programming language to the other, not a big deal. C sharp is really cool. I like C sharp. Um, I did a little bit of C++ on my university, on college, in college, but not a big fan. But I think it's good for learning anyway. So, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, the way I envision this is, uh, once we chain this, we will need to have some sort of a callback that will fetch or will send the request to the database. So let's think a little bit about that. I think I would suggest you to focus more on Python or JavaScript as your first language, and then you can keep learning other ones like C Sharp or Kotlin. Wow. Nice, nice. So you already code that part with Raspberry Pi, which is amazing. So, okay, so let me think twice. How can we accomplish that task? Um, because what we can actually have is a use effect, and then in the use effect, check this active gen reactive tag, active is classify, active is enable, and even the query. Oh, actually, we forgot to implement the search at track functionality. Fuck. So we need to do that. But I will take a 2 minutes break and I will be right back. So wait for 2 minutes and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Why I only have 11 followers on Twitch? Because I'm starting, bro. So if you can help me to promote and to reach to more people, I will appreciate that. On YouTube, I have more. We are around 673, but on Twitch, I'm just starting. So if you can share it to your friends and tell them to follow me, that would be awesome. Okay, so we need to do a couple of things here. The way I was thinking about the filtering part was using the use effect from React hooks and basically listen to certain states. And if the certain state changes, such as all of these queries, all of these values that will be part of the query, then we'll retrigger a new query to the database. We can debounce that if we need it in case, you know, to not like do so many requests all at once. But I think should be fine. So, but before that, we should finish the search input field, because as of now, we are not listening to changes. Like we are not saving the new query. We got a question from System 1100 who asked me, you are using a Spotify song classifier. What do you mean? Like the way Spotify categorizes their music? You mean the machine learning algorithm that Spotify uses? Give me more context, bro. All right. Let's implement the search. Let's implement this part. So it should be pretty easy PC. So we should just simply, let's go to the header. So in the header, search on change search right there. Okay, so the search will be the value that the user provides. So will be, I assume that the search component has a value. Save input, on change, focus, blurry, render, those are methods. But I'm looking for the search props. So enter button, loading on search, input prefix. Let me open. All right, so input search. Let's go there. And then I assume on search value. I mean, like it should have, yeah, the value itself should be working fine. So let's actually try that first. So imagine that I say, oh, nice. I didn't know that Spotify has that. Wow. You will see an API that listens to sound, PVs, mood, speed, and so on, and classify. Wow. Okay, man, I think if this works, you're kind of like my new hero. Should this be a Spotify tracks though? I mean, is this only for Spotify tracks, or can I upload my own track and they will? Yeah, yeah, there is not good because, yeah, API audio features. Yeah, the problem is that in this case, I'm not using Spotify music. I'm using our own stuff. So we cannot use this because those tracks are not on Spotify. Wow, but this is amazing, honestly. I wish they could have like a way of uploading tracks and they tell. Do you know, bro, do you know any API or library that I can use to classify tracks? You should use the library and the logic. I think they use Python. Yeah, but the problem is that here what they are expecting is you pass. I think what they are actually expecting here is that you pass your own an ID, a track from Spotify, because it says a Spotify ID for the track. So that's why I'm saying that while this is amazing, it will not work because I'm not using Spotify music. Or does Spotify has a way to upload tracks and they will tell? My app is Spotify. Create Spotify Yuri. Yeah, this doesn't work because the tracks are not on Spotify. Let's see. How I build an audio-based music genre predictor using Python and Spotify Web API. Huh. Ah, interesting. I mean, I don't know anything about machine learning. I've just did one course in the university, so I'm not a big knowledgeable on this one. But I think if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is that we can leverage a Spotify API to actually get the data for our model, no? And then basically create our tracks and try to match that with the Spotify data. I'm not super sure. Those endpoints are only for Spotify tracks, and you would also need a premium account to be able to listen to tracks. Yeah. But I'm a little bit confused because if results now finally and test the classifier to show the class when exposed to data, it hasn't seemed okay. Oh my god. Let me see this one. Okay, so this exploratory data analysis, as shown in the above example, we were able to get one small insight into a handful of gathered zones. However, the zones shown above are not even a fraction. Having a data fragment, I ended up with a data fragment that showed me the average audio attributes for each genre, which attributes had the most similarities and differences between them, between genres. Accoustiveness, energy. Okay. Judging by the data fragment shown above, now we can make some key assumption regarding the data sets. Instruments, da, 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 da. This makes sense, especially when considered examples shown in the section 1 in this article. Very high instruments, blah, 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 blah. So we can apply to the results shown above, building the classifier. Okay, so I think this, what do you think about this one? Do you think like that's something of whatever you have in mind? Maybe I'll look into what they are using. Maybe this there is a Python that gives you the basic info about the song, and you can develop the classification. Like the slower BPS means a chill music. Interesting. I think there should be, right? Like there should be libraries out there that basically predicts a track. Let me actually check. Node.js track classification. Music genres. Let's see. That's too much for me. Get random subgenre, get random. Come on, please. Honestly, this is not what I'm looking for. Maybe there is some sort of available features. Leave readme improvements. To read music files, create a music genre dataset for classification using the Spotify media now. Get media information from YouTube, blah blah. Drag function abruptly, leaving the canvas. Music genre prediction. Stick with Python. It will be new experience and fun. Trust. No, I mean I know Python. I think this medium ops is good, but I don't think using Node.js is a good idea. Every time I use Node to process big files, it's really slow. Okay. Music genre classification with Python. But actually, apart from the genre, it could be awesome if we can get more data, right? Like subgenres or other tags and stuff like that. I don't know if you have any other ideas on that. Audio signals in general, but generally more towards music. It includes the notes and ball to build. All right. Playing audio. Using to play the audio. These return audio widgets in the Jupyter notebook as follows. Visualizing audio. We can plot the audio array using blah blah. A spectrogram. Writing audio. Creating an audio signal. Show me the code. In case it classifies sound into different genres. Pre-processing the data. Before training the classifier, we have to transform raw data from audio samples. Music genre classification notebooks. Huh. I'm wondering if wow, that's crazy. All right. Okay. System 1000. Do you have Twitter, bro? Or are you on any social? Because just in case I have questions that I'm sure I will have. That's very interesting. Also, um, maybe there is some models out there. What's TensorFlow music? There's no API, bro. There's no API for this. Yeah, I think so. In order to get the okay, nice. Yeah. Could be great if, for example, so you can upload the song file with Node.js, and then you can execute a terminal command with Node and give that song path in local file to the Python script. Yeah, I was thinking to use. Well, actually, I can write the script in Python, no problem. But basically, all the script that inject all the music that we have, transform analyzes that and creates a new entry in the database. I was thinking to use that with that JavaScript script, but we can have that in Python. And do you work Do you work on machine learning and stuff like that? Like, is machine learning kind of like your focus of work? And also one question: when you say stick to the basics first to get the sun, BPS, and speed, I guess that for that, like, there's no machine learning involved, right? Like, it's just analyzing the track itself, like analyzing the waveform. So Python, some BPM, and speed. I'm so glad that you joined this live stream, by the way. Is the internet synthesizer makes amazing things for music automatically into Python or JavaScript code? Examples? It doesn't show much about what is all of this about. You can upload, stick to the basics first. Stick with Python. It will be new experience. You can upload the song file with Node.js and you can execute. No, Node.js, Mongo, and React, but I have some Python projects, and yes, don't try to build a Spotify API, just process the song and get the most basic data you can at first and then continue. Some Python projects, and yes, don't try to build Spotify API, process. Just process the song and get the most basic data you can at first and then continue. But what is the what's the basic data that I can get without ML? You said, so you said BPMs, speed, what else? Um, so the app is actually a radio station, so you can listen to multiple like to multiple music and tracks, and we generate the stations every single day. This app that you're seeing right now is the admin app for basically managing all the catalog. Yeah, bits per second is the most important, but actually it's tricky because, for example, you can see that many electronic music or house tracks, they are 128. Then the hardstyle could be 150. But then when it comes, for example, to pop music or rock music, it all depends, right? So BPMs may not be the only source to understand what's the type of song, no? Because I was thinking basically on the first step, classify the music by myself. But there are a lot of tracks. Like there are more than 5,000 tracks. Yeah, it's a good start. I agree with you. Um, yeah, I will take a look to these. If you know any other library or anything that is interesting, just let me know. I think my goal is to release the project this week. Um, so once we have the app to basically manage the catalog, the idea is basically to upload the music to the storage service. Um, but yeah, I actually was thinking to manually curate the music, right? So it's crazy because there are around 5,000 tracks out there. So it's a lot of tracks that I need to listen to. But I was thinking to doing that because that's way more accurate than actually have any machine to process the audio, because I can actually understand if that track should be part of the final uh, catalog or not. But I agree with you that, for example, the main problem is that at least have a pre-generated genre classification could be really great. Yeah, it's not. I will look into it, and if it's okay, yeah, yeah, man, I appreciate that. On social as Jorge Ferreiro. Yeah, that's super cool. So let's continue a little bit to finish to finish the classification part. So we have on chain search. Now I'm like, no, I don't want to work on this. I want to work on the other problem. No, 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 Jorge, relax yourself a little bit. Let's work on this first, and then we can work on the other part. But yeah, it's so nice because I really like the idea of basically optimize the pipeline and try to be smarter on the general classification part. I was not even thinking about that. Like I was thinking to curate everything and do it on myself, on my own, uh, which is okay because we can move fast on that. But if we can add some pre-processing part, like that would be so awesome, honestly. So let me see what's happening here. So apparently we are missing the on-chain search. The search. All right, the search part, and then we have here the on-chain search. On-chain search. Chain search. Change search. Query, probably. I didn't call it, yeah, I didn't call it search. I call it query. And actually, I like it better because at the end of the day, it's a query that the user introduced. So change query. Yeah, you can do that, but if you want to make it the project bigger, it must be automated. Yeah. But sometimes it's tricky because, for example, um, there may be around on the catalog as of now, I got around 5,000. No, how many tracks do I have? Let me tell you 1 second. Let me search for that. Yeah, you're right. By the way, that if you want to make the project bigger, we should find a way to make it bigger. But right now, sorry, where is the? Oh, there we go. So right now in the catalog, we have. Oh my God, why it doesn't show up? Oh yeah, we have. Oh wow, we have a 11,000 tracks, 11,000 songs. So none of them will be part of the final catalog, right? I'm targeting that maybe 30 or 40% of those tracks will not be part of the final catalog. So I was like, well, if I can curate that and listen to every single track, I can decide whether that will go through the final catalog or not. So I don't know, like, how can you actually automate that part? Because if you cannot, if you don't listen to the tracks, even though you can apply machine learning and stuff like that, maybe you are like, all right, but is this really worth it to be in the final catalog or should be completely out of the catalog? So I don't know if you have any ideas on how to solve that problem. I guess that if you have a if you have a way with the algorithms to actually try to classify and see how cool is the track or how good is the quality of the track and so on, maybe you can find a way to automate that part. But the curation part, like, you will need it, no? Even though you automate that. Yeah, you can at start create this automation and as a test when the program catalogs, if you just review it and improve it and debug. Yeah. But for the improving part, that means basically to have some sort of machine learning algorithm, right? Or you're just thinking about these are the VPMs. If you have these VPMs, this is the type of track, and maybe you can add like some other tags, right? That's kind of like what you're thinking about, like some very basic processing, and try to basically go through that and say, okay, this is wrong. Why is this wrong and stuff like that, no? Chain query. So chain query, set query. Okay. Yeah, I will think about it because I think it's a great idea. I will think how can I do it, because I wanted to release on Thursday, which is really fit deadline, to be honest with you. But I wanted to do it because it's kind of like the momentum right now. All right, let's see if this works. All right, restart. Okay, so this is not working. Let me see. Search. I'm I'm very I don't really know why, for example, Google does not. I mean, maybe it does, but I need to search. But how could it be possible that they don't provide some sort of like API to basically generate classify or stuff like that? Because it seems like a very basic, not basic, but a very common problem. Oh wow, 4 a.m. there. And I wish I could now research this now. Kinda excited to find out how good this work. I'm here in a country of Georgia and I wish I could now research. No problem, man. Go to sleep. Let's connect on social and talk to you soon. Very excited, bro. Like, I really appreciate your help. I mean, it's really great. I think you are completely right. Like, there can be some sort of automation around that. So, yeah, let's keep in touch. If you send me a message, maybe we can connect on. Actually, do you have Telegram? Yeah, I'm feeling like you right now. So funny. Uh-huh. Let me see. Like a newbie. I'm feeling like a newbie. Um. Oh yeah. On search, we could just simply call that stuff. Um. Okay, and this part we don't really need to have that. Query. Okay, and then we can just delete that part there. Um. Okay, let's see if this is working fine. And now we can add actually the use effect hook. I think I look more of your streams. It's great to learn something and get smarter. Yeah. Yes, man. Yeah, this is exciting. Like the fact that you can just share your, like what you are working on, your open the doors to your house, to your privacy, but talk to other people and connect with them and brainstorm ideas and improve the stuff. Like, oh my god, that's super super amazing. So query is not being used here, but query should be. All right, let me try the use effect part. If I remember this correctly, the syntax, you can basically have here some sort of listeners. So anytime that the active genres, active tab, active is classified, active is enabled, and query changes, then you can rerun this use effect. So I'm just gonna put a debugger here and say use effect being called. No, no, no. Your English is great. Don't worry about that. Where can you remind me where are you from? I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know if you told me that. So I'm just curious. Okay, use effect is being called, and then if I do this, yeah, this, yes, 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 yes. This is exactly what I was looking for. That's amazing. And then if I do this, bang, perfect. And then if I do this one, oh no, this is not working. This is not working. But that should be an easy fix. Oh yeah, because we are not using the set active tag, so no problem. But this is super amazing. Have you? Oh, Germany. That's amazing. We're in Germany. I love Germany. I have so many friends. Well, actually, I have two really good friends of mine that they are living in Berlin, and they are telling me all the time to move to Berlin. They're telling me you should go to Berlin, Jorge. And I was like, yeah, I should. I like Berlin. I don't know where is that. Is it north, south, west, east? It's very funny because I have the feeling that people on Twitch are are more kind of like open to talk and to send comments and stuff like that. I don't know why. I don't know if because the Twitch chat is kind of like more cool and they feel more comfortable to do that. But on YouTube, I mean, of course, when I'm doing live streams, I have so many interactions from YouTube from time to time. Like especially if there are any friends or any people that they know me or they are following me for a while. But Twitch is kind of like random people, not you, but random people join in and say, "Hey, what's up?" and stuff like that. So it's fun. I don't really know where is that, but in Württemberg. Gutenberg, Nürnberg, Gutenberg, in between French and Switzerland. Oh wow, that's amazing. That's so cool. Oops, I'm living near Stuttgart. Nice. I went to Stuttgart. I like it. It's super cool. You live near Gutenberg, Gutzburg. That's cool. I should go there. Nice. So cool, man. I went to Zurich, Stuttgart. Well, Zurich is not Germany, but I went there, Stuttgart. That's so cool. I like that. I like to have international people watching my live stream. I'm from Spain, by the way. I live in Madrid. Nice. Okay, so this is great. This is fantastic because the only thing that we need to fix is the chain active tags. Select active tag. Okay, because this is empty. This is like nothing else there. So we can just add a console log. Deselect and select. Nice. I'm following on Twitter. I'm following you on Twitter right now. Nice. I've never been to Georgia, but I got some friends and they told me that Georgia is super cool. Deselect. Is this not being used, by the way? On deselect tag, I think I got the feeling that on deselect tag is not being called. On deselect tag, tag selection, on deselect tag. Okay, maybe it's just like not being reloaded though. Let's check. Okay, perfect. Talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, man. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch so you will see no more live streams. It's a pleasure. So David, I'm from Spain. I'm from Spain. I'm living in Madrid, which is the capital of Spain. Cinematic. Why? Okay, now it's working fine. I was like, what? Wait, what? So select active tag. The first thing that we should do is make sure that this tag. So first check if. Come on, wait a second. And I think the variable is called active tags. Yep. Let me do something first. Yeah, you can hear me. Have you ever been to Spain, by the way? Oh, really? Um, where in Europe have you traveled to? Ah, okay. But what's it? Say active tabs, active active tabs. But actually, come on, it should be fine. Skip tag is already in the list. But what the hell? Updated active tags equals. Really? Do I really need to do that? It says type is not assignable to type never empty. Type stream is not assignable to type never empty. But actually, come on. Or we can actually do. Overload it. This is ridiculous because basically the active tags. Nice, I never been there. Come on, man, you should. Spain is really great. Really good weather, really nice people. The cost of living here or the cost of traveling here is really cheap. So I think it's nice. By the way, did you tell me? Oh yeah, you sent me a message on Twitter, right? You said, "Hey, hey, okay, I see you. Yo, I got you here." So when are you gonna come to Spain? That's the question. So you stay. Do I really need to do that? Because I feel that's not super cool. Active tags. Um. Now I see. Okay. So default tags after tags. Okay. Maybe that's the. Oh, okay. Now I got it. That's. I know what's the problem then. So this should be actually not an array. Should be an array, but tag should have the proper type. A value, and then this should be a tag, and then this should go there, and then update it to active tags. Let me check. It's the value, and the value should be a tag. And what's going on there? Tag to type never. Argument of type is not assignable to parameter never. But why is that saying never? I don't understand. I don't really understand it. Just because I initialized that as. Oh my god. It's just because I initialized that as. Can I just simply say value to be empty? Something like that. If Corona would not exist me, would have over last class to. Oh man. Sorry to hear that. So you were planning some sort of like. All right. So now this is working. So were you planning some sort of like high last year? All right. Nice. So now this is working. Nice. And then use effect. Nice. So were you planning some sort of like last year a trip to Spain? Um, can I have use state? Can I pass use state TypeScript? Okay, so we can actually have this use state and pass the type that we are expecting. So in this case, use state, and then we can pass a tag array, and this could be like that. Let's see if that works or if we get any error. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Nice. Perfect. Now we only need to implement the delete and we will be done. Deselect, select active tab, deselect. We should simply filter out. So we should simply say updated tags equals and then active tags dot filter and then say tag if tag dot value equals the tag, we should remove that, and then we should just simply call seg active tab with update active tabs. All right. Yeah, Barcelona is amazing. Honestly, it's a typical place where everybody goes. I like Barcelona. The only problem is that tends to be crowded, especially with tourists. So sometimes that's not that cool, you know. Oh, this should be t. This should be t dot value equals tag. Sometimes it's too crowded with tourists. That is not really awesome to go there. But overall, Barcelona is a really amazing place. Good weather. They have a beach, so a lot of cool stuff. All right, so this seems to be working fine, which I love. Now we are this use effect being triggered, and then what we actually need to do in the use effect is simply call the database, and that's pretty much it. Call the database to actually set the track. So we can do a test, for example. So imagine that. Well, and by the way, just a I will show you, right? So imagine, for example, let's say we do a query. Now you must be see it because no one is. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Well, actually, you could be surprised because now everything is open up in Spain. Uh, you're so funny. Um, Everything is open up on Spain, so you will be surprised how many people are actually on the streets and stuff like that. It's crazy. Okay, so what I want to show you guys is what happens if I change something. So we will retrigger an update to the. We will call again the database, right? With all these queries. So we can say, okay, imagine that slice two. So imagine that, for example, what happens here? Available tracks. Okay. Yeah. Let me check example.json. Let's say, all right. So let's say that, for example, we do a filter on the database. Right? So imagine, for example, we do a filter. Why is this doesn't exist on object? Any. That's all. Okay. So now imagine, for example, we do a query, right? So the user comes here and say, well, I actually want to change. What the hell? Unknown is not assignable to. Unknown is not assignable to. What the hell? Yeah, that's because we are triggering that for the first time. Come on, I just wanna show you guys something. Can I please? Wow, 20 people just for funerals and stuff like that. That's ridiculous, man. Here in Madrid, for example, you cannot. What? No, 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 no. Okay. So this should be actually. Okay, now I understand. So this should be object. Oh, actually, we should create a type for that. Like there is this key. Yeah, I think something on like key string and then here a track. Good work. It's not a signal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, but this means that um tracks a API track response, for example, we can call it API track response to be equals to that, and then we can say that the response for that will be the API track response, and this will be the API track response. Amazing. And then we just simply need to. Wow, this is great because now we have everything typed. So that's pretty awesome. And then what I want to show you, and by the way, I think the COVID-19 is not so cool. I don't want to talk about it because YouTube will ban my video. But right now in Spain, you can go outside up to a group of 20 thing as well. Yeah, we need the mask pretty much for everything, but it's super fun because today I was walking by with my dad and we saw like a lot of people like next to each other without a mask and stuff like that. So it seems like people is not don't giving a shit. Is that the same in Germany? Like, is people kind of like, I don't care, or they are taking that seriously? What I want to do available. Yeah, what I wanted to do actually was this. Let's say, um, okay, this is this is completely a hack because I want to show you something. All right. So imagine that, for example, the user, we are dealing with this app. Yeah, everyone don't care. Exactly. It's the same here. I mean, not everyone, but there are some certain people like it's like whatever. Okay. So now what is going to happen when, for example, I click there is that we will trigger an API a request to our server, and we will actually filter out the stuff. So this is amazing. This is really amazing. And I think with this, we should end it up the live stream for today. Use effect to use effect to listen for filters changes. Yeah, man. I will probably do a live stream, more live streams this week, maybe tomorrow. So if you are around, just log in, and we are on Twitter. So ask me any questions that you have there. Um, I will visit your app. Actually, I will take a look to that now if you want me. Do you want me to do that now? I can do it. I could be happy to do it. If you want to. um, so enter. Oh, is this? What is this about? Enter. Is this some sort of like a? It's like bets. Ah. And what is? Is this the name of the product? Ah, it's for money. Streamer Twitch slots. Ah, I see. Nice. Yeah, I think the app is cool. I mean, it's simple, and you need to keep working on that for sure. But it seems that you wrote this on PHP, right? Ah, it's oh, okay. So you're doing this app for another streamer? So the problem that you're having is that this is local storage, right? Yeah. So for that you will need a database, but I'm not sure if it's totally worth it for you to do that. But yeah, it seems like you will need some sort of like, for example, Firebase database, or what's the other, like Firebase real time or simple database. Oh, actually, you can use six best. Take a look to this one, because it's very easy. Actually, this is, if you join the live stream that I'm gonna do probably tomorrow or the next day. If you join the live stream, I will go through the tutorial from scratch because I don't know much about this, and I wanna add some database to the project. So yes, let me close this. All right, so we have done so many stuff today. I'm gonna do a really quick recap. So we added this new toggle here. We added all of these selections to the header. Be able to select and change the house, is classified, is enabled, to be able to search. And then we refactor the code to make it looks better and cleaner. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much. I mean, this has been probably one of my favorite live streams because of all of you. Dam, Ways, and the rest of the folks that were connected to the live stream. You guys rock. Thanks so much for that. And see you very soon. So don't forget to follow me so you will be notified when I'm live again. And hopefully that will be very soon. So yeah, cheers, man.